Welcome everybody to game 3 of week 1. We are commentating Luke's match. So the Norfolk Noctowls versus the Lilycove Lugias.
Yeah,
And I'm a little biased because I love Luke's team. It's my favorite team in the league. And I
I
helped
like
him
my
prep.
team too.
How were you feeling going
Um,
into this?
Yikes, man. We went into prep, and the one thing we knew that was drilled into my head was Clefable
Yeah.
and Chansey.
Yeah.
Man, it's crazy what that combo can do. It's just there to baton pass, minimize. You can't hit it. It's very stressful. So this whole time I'm thinking, all right, I need taunt. All three mods that could learn taunt had taunt.
Yep.
Because I was not falling for it. So the whole plan was so the first game I'm thinking like maybe we'll see what we're gonna have, see what he brings, and then maybe we'll go with the good old Nine Tails Charizard leave just to
Okay.
get the base power.
Good.
But
Yeah.
going into the other games, I'm not sure what I'm thinking here. I know what to do at this point. Like I
Mhm.
know what we've prepped for. I know what we have to be watching out for. So that's what I'm thinking about, but at the same time, I am nervous as all heck because it took us to like the last match to figure out an answer
Yep.
for the Chansey and a Clefable lead, and we figured it out. But I mean, that was 2 hours after we've been battling and
Yeah.
testing and stuff like that. So it is definitely was a very worrisome lead, and I did not know exactly because I had to remember so much. But we'll get into it and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, no, I was looking forward to it. First week is always a great time. You're super nervous. You wonder if all the prep you put in, you really wonder like if my team that I drafted did really well.
Huh?
You start assessing where you're at. So week one is always a great proving ground to
Mm-hmm.
see how well you drafted your mons and how well your prep is, and whether you need to continue the prep as you are or change up your prep a little bit to see how things adjust. So
Exactly.
excited and nervous at the same time is how I'm
Yeah.
feeling about this
I'm
match. I think
really
everyone's first game,
yeah.
so
I'm really excited because that Charizard is no joke. So the only thing I could come up with was the Chansey Clefable
mhm,
against your team. And it was
yeah,
working. But everything else was just suffering, I feel like. So
yeah.
we'll see. I'm excited. Let's hop
Let's do
into
it.
the game. I think you're in character select right now. Let's see.
Uh, all right, yep, here we are. So right now, I'm like, thank the Lord, I do not see Clefable right now. So
Yep.
this is changing my lead up. So here I'm thinking, all right, well, what is he going to lead? I'm definitely thinking he's bringing maybe Chansey Dragapult. I know I'm going to see
Hmm.
the Dragapult, and I feel like I'm going to see the Chansey. I'm not too sure. I have an answer for pretty much everything else on the side of the field. I do have my Executor, which deals with these pesky water types for
Yep.
sure, and Charizard is part flying. So right off the bat, I realize I don't necessarily need Ninetales all the time because that's just going to limit my typing. So I feel like I'm just going to
Yep.
lead Zales and Legend, Charizard, Sableye here. I bring Clive, and I'm debating, the extra knockoff and taunt because Sableye does have taunt, and it's always going to go first. So I didn't
Yep.
know if
Fair
I
enough.
needed to
Yep.
bring Crocodile here. So I opt out for Bose, who has Tailwind. A little spoiler,
Okay.
I do pick the Noivern here just because I'm worried about maybe some Tailwind because that Dragapult is there and it's going to be outspeeding. But yeah, the choices here is to have Zales and Charizard fake out first turn, see what happens
Mhm.
with the other mods, and then set up the Sun the next turn.
Okay.
So that's what I'm thinking going into this match right off the bat. So yeah, let's see what he chooses. I mean, I know, but
Yep.
it will be
I'm really
very
excited to see
interesting.
this. Let's see. Oh. Oh.
Yes.
I never did this on our prep.
No, you didn't. And again, as we were talking in a couple video previously, when you don't prep for something or you don't see this lead, you start
Yeah.
internally panicking.
So okay,
Yeah.
so here's what I would do. I would just big follow. Big follow
Woo!
from Joey.
Oh, look at Red.
Did you bring Sucker Punch or no? Oh,
No,
you
so I
didn't.
don't. So I didn't
Yeah.
bring anything, thinking because I'm like, why aren't you bringing Clefable? I'm like, you just like
Yeah. Fair
prepared
enough.
for this at all choice. So right here, I'm thinking to myself, what do I want to do here? Because I'm seeing a Dragon Ball. I know the Dragon Ball's outspeeding, but I also see the throw, and I'm 95% sure this thing has Rock Slide, which is Charizard is going to
Yep.
murder this poor fake dragon. So here I just opt for Sunny Day Protect. I didn't
All
fake
right,
out
just
here because
scout
I
it
didn't
out.
feel like I needed to fake out the throw. I
Yeah.
just wanted to scout the throw anyways, so I didn't use my fake out. So he
Protect.
protects, so I didn't get to scout here, but I do get to scout what this Dragon Pole is doing, and
Yep.
we're in the sun now, which is where Charizard works best. So it's great turn one for me off the
Hydro Pump.
bat.
So we did prep for special. We did prep for
Yes, we
special.
did.
And that throw is
So
guts. Yeah. It had to be.
yeah, yeah. So I am pretty confident about this turn. So right
Yep.
here, I'm thinking, all right, I know that Dragon Pulse is going to kill here, but I was just making sure maybe because I didn't run it especially bulky, so I'm like, does it
Yep.
have any special defense EVs? So I opt for the helping hand here just to guarantee the kill on the Dragon Pole, and
Yeah.
um, that's just how I'm feeling. I tested, I ran it, and I feel like he was not expecting Dragon Pulse on a
Yeah.
Charizard.
I did
So
prep Assault Vest Dragapult with you. So this was a smart.
yes,
This was a smart. I think this is
yeah,
fine. You could deal
yeah,
with the throw later on with your
mm-hmm.
other Pokemon. This is good. What is throw rock slide? Probably it's
Throws
probably
Rock
super
Slide,
slow.
yeah, close
So
combat, probably packing it. This is what I'm thinking at the time. I'm not honestly, I don't remember what exactly moves they do have, but I am
yep,
scared of the Rock Slide. So Hydro Bolt comes out.
yep. And the sun's not gonna do much. I'm guessing.
It,
Oh, it's
it
still a
does a
fair
lot.
bit.
It
Yeah,
does a good amount.
it's not life orb. So
No,
interesting.
which was good.
Yep.
So Dragon Pulse does do its job, but as you can tell with the Charizard, it is a glass cannon. He opts for Stone Edge. So here I'm like, that was just rude. You did not need to do that to Charizard. He did not need to be Stone Edge.
Wow.
But also I'm thinking like, all right, so good news is maybe he didn't bring Rock Slide. So I don't have to
Yep.
worry about the flinches and that Stone Edge is 80%. So right here, I make the wise choice to go for Executor here
Mm-hmm.
because the sun is still up. There's no reason not to bring it. It's going to be moving faster. And I freaked. I said, I saw Turtonator. I'm
Yeah.
like, he has a Turtonator. This is bad. But then I'm like, wait a second. It's a Caracosta. We're
Not gonna
good.
lie, it got me too.
Yeah, I was freaking out. I'm like, well, this is not good.
Yeah, nah, you got this. You should kill that thing in one shot, maybe or two.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, a helping hand here just because I want to get this kill. I mean, at this point, Sableye can only do one thing:
Yeah,
is set the stun, taunt, and a helping hand. It can't fake out right now, and I'm not seeing any reason to taunt anything at the moment in time. So I just go opt for to get rid of the biggest threat because
yep,
I'm not
I
scared
agree.
at all of the the Caracosta. So I
Yep,
go with the Psychic Gear.
I agree. And oh,
Um,
it switched out. Okay,
yeah,
and that's
and
a
here it
Chansey.
is, and here's the boy.
Yep,
Yeah. So right here, I mean, I did my calc, so I'm pretty confident here that Psychic is going to do the job, especially with
yep,
the helping hand boosted here. Um, and then right now, I'm automatically thinking of my next turn. I know this Chansey is going to do some shenanigans, so I'm taunting it right off the
yep.
bat.
Good idea.
And then just going for Giga Drain on the Caracosta here, and
Yep,
just trying to pick up the W here because at this point I'm in a pretty good standing. Um, and right here I'm debate later on you'll see what I'm debating here, and I'll get into it in a second. But right here I'm in a good position here that I just want to make sure this Caracosta is gone, just in case it has Ice Beam. I'm not sure. I'm worried about the Ice Beam
yeah.
here just in
It
case.
probably gets
So
Ice Beam. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it has to get some type of ice move, right? So that's what I'm thinking. I just want to get rid of it. I know I'm faster because I'm in the sun. So it is very very important to just be aware. And again, like the sun has to be up for Executor to do what it needs to do.
Yep,
It's doubling its speed in the sun, so it's automatically moving first. It goes from 55 to a base 110 speed, and the chance he gets taunted,
big taunts,
and
man.
everything is just working the way I wanted it to.
Oh, Giga Drain kills. Wow.
Yeah, Giga Drain does kill, which is what I was talking. And then
Oh,
he goes for a Facade, which is like was throwing me off. So I was kind of trying to figure out what he was gonna do. Why it's like why does he have Facade? I know what Facade does, so I'm like, okay, so he's maybe he's thinking of status conditioning and then using Facade to get that extra damage here. Um, but right here, I'm at the point where I'm debating if I just want to wrap this up quickly or
Yeah.
not, but I opt to, and you'll see next turn. I opt to not decide to do this because I want to save my Pokemon. I don't want to show it because I don't want
Yep.
to give
Fair
away
enough.
anything to my opponent here. And then, yeah, I mean
Facade.
the
Such an odd
Chansey,
move.
yeah, I think what he's going for here is toxic. This is what I'm thinking right now. I'm like, okay, he's got a status condition because there's no reason why he should be using facade. So maybe he's
Yep.
trying to toxic facade and just, I guess soft boil what his health bag and just stall out that way. But now that he's taunting, he can't necessarily do that. And yeah, right here, I'm just thinking, man, do I just get this over with because Executor is going to be here a while?
Yeah.
But, in the end, I opt to just reset the sun and
Yeah.
just go ahead and,
Yeah.
get
I
the
mean,
executor
there's
off.
there's no reason to. I mean, I agree with the toxic here. I don't think Facade's gonna even kill you through even having status condition on that Chansey. So, yeah, that's quite odd. And as long as you keep taunting it, it can't minimize or anything. So, I think this is good. And then if I mean, you do reveal the toxic, but you also don't want to. You see, that's not doing anything.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, this is just a stall war pretty much because of
Yeah, so
soft boiled. So toxic is pretty nice. Although
this
if you
is one
keep
reason.
taunting, it's whatever.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I'm still so one thing I still need to learn is making sure I'm clicking to know how much longer taunt is in effect. Now
Fair.
knowing that it's in 3 turns, I'm not predicting the taunt like I need to predict it. So it definitely is a learning lesson to make sure that taunt does only last 3 turns. So if you're really worried about a mon like Chansey that has these types of things, then he goes for substitute. And then
All
I
right.
start putting together kind of what he's trying to do here. I'm still confused because I'm not too familiar with Chansey,
I
but
still
I'm
don't
like,
know what he's trying to do with the Chansey.
what in the world is he trying to do here? And we just go ahead and we go ahead and break the substitute here and pretty much try to wrap up game one off the bat, and it works out. The substitute breaks here. Well, it doesn't break actually. Soft boils.
Soft boil. So it's soft boil, facade, substitute.
Soft
What's
boil
the other
facade
move?
substitute. I
Huh.
Again, I don't know why you're running facade on it unless you're trying to toxic your opponent. Um, and that's what I'm just why. It's
Yeah.
just like I'm scratching my head about this is kind of doing, and then I'm just like, God, you know, um, we're stalling right now, and I'm like, all right, we need to go. And then again, I'm just like, I'm gonna do it, and then I'm like, I know it's fine. But yeah, no, I mean, stall is very frustrating, and I guess my advice for anyone who deals with stall, man, is be patient. Don't
Yeah.
um don't freak out. If you have the advantage, you'll continue to have the advantage.
Yeah,
Um,
you got 3 Pokemon. There's no way.
yeah,
And it's
I'm not worried
toxic.
about this.
It's
Yeah,
at some point it's just gonna get
it's
through
gonna
all the
die.
health.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the toxic.
So
There
there's
we
the
go.
toxic. So I was like, okay, so he's got toxic now. So that's probably what he's trying to do with facade here. So we just have to be extra careful here because I'm not sure what facade does. I've never gone up against a
Hmm.
mon that's used facade. So right here, I'm just like patiently just hoping like I need to know what this does. So I'm curious to see what he goes for here. But I'm just trying to pick up the dub and just
Yeah.
get out of here
Well,
with
you're
a
faster,
good
so this
game
goes down
one.
now, I'm guessing.
Yeah, yeah, it does. Yeah,
All
and right
right.
here, Chansey goes down, and we get the game one victory, and I'm very happy. I'm just like, all right,
Yeah.
so prep worked, so I'm very happy, and we go into a game two. So funny thing here is, it takes a minute to get to game two because our friend the Lugias forgot that it was best of three, and
Oh,
so it takes like a good like 5 minutes to get in there. So I'm sitting here like panicking because I'm like, oh god, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Because I'm thinking he's switching out his mons. Because
yeah.
in the CCC you are allowed to switch out your mons in between battles. Um So we do eventually get the game started, but at the meantime, I'm like, all right, what's he gonna do now?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're back in it, game two. Um, and yeah, it's crazy.
All right. All right. So we're in character select now, or whatever team preview.
Yeah.
It's not League of Legends.
No, this is Pokemon.
Yeah. Let's see. I think you've got this as long as the Chansey and the Clefable don't come. I think you've got this in the bag.
Yeah.
Just
No,
skip
that's
a
what
little bit.
exactly what I'm
Oh,
thinking.
it
So
is
he brings
here.
it. So now I'm like, all right, now I know what to do. So as usual, I say, all right, I know what to do here. So we're gonna go
Yep.
on and bring the two taunt users, fake out taunt, and deal with it that way. Because I'm like, all right, there's no reason why he brings these two if it's not for this reason.
Yep.
Um, because maybe he was trying to do something else and he realized, no, I'm gonna be mean to Luke and do terrible things to him and make him want to cry. So I'm like, all right, I know what to do here, which is again why we prep the way we do, so we know answers for this.
Yep.
And so yeah, I bring Sableye Crocodile here, and I'm thinking right now, if I see that lead, I'm faking out the Clefable and I'm taunting the Chansey. And that's exactly what my plan is right now as this match is starting. But we shall see what happens when the Mons do come out.
All right. Let's see.
So
Turtonator.
he doesn't lead what I was thinking. So right here,
Oh.
I'm like, I am not in a great position.
Oh. I mean, you're not
um,
that bad.
no, I'm not. But you know, I just see the mismatch right now,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, this is not good. I'm scared.
Yeah, it is. Wow. All right. Well, I guess we prepped too much for
Yeah,
for
we definitely
the
did. But hey, it
um
doesn't matter. We kind of just figured out. So right now I'm like, all right, I'm not a big fan of switching out right away because I just don't on my team keeping as much at least keeping Charizard or Executor alive as long as possible is the
fair
best
enough, yeah.
idea here. So I'm not too worried about the lead here. So I just go for the knockoff because I'm curious to see what he's actually running on this Dragapult so I can take
Yep.
this knowledge into game three.
Oh,
But he
U-turn.
U-turns out, and
Wow.
right here is where I start getting scared.
Oh no.
Be because I'm like, "Why did he U-turn? He must have saw something here." But also at the same time, I'm like, "Why did he U-turn? He's in a great position."
Yeah.
Um,
Tooth
so I was
fairy.
scratching my head a little bit.
Oh,
So the
Clefable.
Clefable's
All
here
right.
now, and I'm frustrated because I'm like, "Great, I just knocked off this," but as you can tell, it's a Rocky Helmet Clefable,
Okay.
which I'm like, I
Fair.
this why?
Okay.
But also like, no, that's not good. TikTok's the crocodile is not looking good right now. So right here,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, all right, I can't do anything right now. I need to set the sun up for the next turn because I know
Yep.
crocodile is not making it. And that's the plan is just reset the sun and start doing work
Yep.
like I need to because I'm like it has to go at this point.
I see you're debating on taunting or not.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what this thing's doing, and I'd rather just go for the taunt because I'm just like, I don't want it to baton pass and move things
Yeah.
around. I just don't want that to happen.
It's crazy
So
because
that's
I was running what was it? Minimize and
mhm.
Calm Mind with Fable. And then switching out into Dragon Bolt so you couldn't one shot it.
Yep. And yeah, that's what I was so worried about. But as you see here now the turtle is shell smashed, so I'm like,
Yeah.
I not good, but also at the same time I'm like, uh you know, maybe we're okay because I'm still thinking that this we can still outspeed here, but I just go on and opt to just get Zales out of here.
Okay.
Because I think in this situation, I think switching an executor here is the best bet because
Yeah,
I do
that's
not
I agree.
see any immediate threats to executor, and I want to bring out the fake out again for a second turn.
Yep.
Switch in. So we go through the executor here,
Hydro Pump and the
and
sun and it misses.
it
Oh
misses, which was a
wow.
big miss here, and but the close combat did not do enough to get rid of the Caracases, so I am not happy.
Yeah. Oh,
And then
physical.
Yeah, so physical play rough going in. This Executor is just very bulky, naturally bulky. Now that I have the leftovers going onto it. But yeah, Executor here. So I'm just
Yeah,
like, all right,
just
we're getting
Giga
rid of
Drain.
the yeah, we're getting rid of the turtle over here. And once again, I'm debating what we do because I'm here because I'm still in the old mindset, and I keep forgetting that Clefable is a fairy because I'm so used
Yeah,
to being in
okay.
normal. So I'm seeing close combat super effective, and I'm like, oh, and then I'm like, wait, it's on the turtle. So I'm like, hold up.
Yeah, fair enough.
But at the same time, we aren't worried about the turtle. The turtle is gone now. It's
Yep.
just now we're worried about the tooth fairy.
Yeah,
Because
that Tooth
Lord have
Fairy.
mercy, it's just not it's scary, man. It's a scary mon. So we opt for the close combat here just to get some more damage onto it, and
Yeah,
knowing well, darn well that Crocodile's not surviving the
yeah.
next turn.
Even after
Just
that
despite
fairy,
the fairy
-2
berry, yes,
defense is just
it's
it's too
gone.
much. Yeah.
TikTok goes down.
It's fine.
um,
It did its job, I feel like.
Yeah, no, it did its job. I scouted, so I know not to go physical in the Clefable, which I was never going to do with any of my other mons because all my other mons at this point are being run special that I've brought.
Yep.
Um, so I go on and switch out here, knowing that I'm kind of banking on him bringing the Chansey here because I saw the
Okay.
lead. I'm like, he has to bring it. So I'm like, I'm bringing it out just so I can get what I need to get out of this. And then, yeah, I don't. It's not the Chansey, so I'm very frustrated because
Yep.
once again, I cannot fake out this Dragapult, and and now I'm worried about what else this Dragapult's doing. So I play it safe and protect because I'm trying to scout what this thing can
Yep.
do to me.
That's good.
And
Fake out
Tooth,
the
go
Clefable, that's
ahead.
fine. Let's see. What does this Dragon Ball gonna do? Flamethrower, maybe? Shadow
Shadow
Ball.
Ball. So I'm
Ah,
like,
okay.
interesting choice. Once again, so my biggest issue with what I've been seeing is like these are just not moves we test it with. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
again, getting in my head about what's doing what, how much is doing what, which is again another big reason why you prep the way you do. Because sometimes you never know what someone's going to bring and it's going to throw you off. So just trying to stick to what you know. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm just trying to get rid of the biggest threat, which is not the Clefable. It's um the Dragapult.
Helping Hand onto Clefable. Psychic. Would this kill? Maybe.
That's the question. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, as helping hand boosted, is it gonna be enough? Which is why you run helping hands because if you're unsure, there's no reason not to helping hand in a situation
Hmm.
where you're unsure about what's going on,
All right, big Psychic comes in. Yep, there we
and
go.
it does exactly what I needed to do. So I'm feeling good here. But the Shadow Ball comes out,
Ah, this is really curious. I would have
and
killed the Sableye first.
so he goes on and gets rid of the Executor. So I'm like, all right, that's not good. The sun's gone, so I'm like, great, this is terrible. So I go on and bring out the Charizard, knowing darn well what I need to get rid of, but
Yep.
um, it's just like the Dragon Ball has to go here, and I'm like praying that he doesn't bring the Chansey, and he brings it, and now I am not able to fake out. So I just go ahead and I go against what I should have done, which
Yep.
is I should have went on and just taunted, but
Onto
I'm
the
like
Chansey. Yep.
the Dragapult is gone. It needs to be gone. But also, I'm thinking here is the sun needs to be set up because our Hydro Pump coming in is killing me.
Yep.
So I need
That's
that
true.
sun up. So which I just kind of had a Charizard was not in the best spot here. Which is some faults for Charizard is Charizard needs to have the right support and have the right match to be brought in. And right now he's not looking good, which is I'm just at this point I'm trying to protect Charizard because I know that I cannot do anything to this Chansey if Charizard is gone.
Yep. Shadow Ball. Okay.
So Shadow Ball comes out, but
Special
it
attack
does
drop? Oh no.
so much damage. Because
Oh
it
yeah, and you
wasn't in
don't
the
kill now.
sun.
Oh, you do. Oh.
No, I do kill. I do kill. The Dragapult is gone, but here's the reason why I don't make it is because the sun
Oh.
is out now and I'm life orb. So Charizard is not surviving. He goes down the next turn
Oh,
and
this is
we
tough.
get into what was one small slight fear about what was going to happen with our the draft form the league format this year is stall wars, and we're about spoiler alert, we're about to get into a stall war right now.
Yeah. Oh
So
wow.
right here I'm like frustrated. I'm like, darn, I out like again I could not predicted the mons he brought. I was like so dumbfounded by the decisions of what he brought because I'm like, why did he do this? But it worked out. I mean, he shadowballed knowing darn well the sun was up, which was a smart play by him.
Yep.
Um, and because the hydro pump wasn't going to do as much as the ball in the sun, so got on him. I go on and taunt here just because that's what you have to do at this point.
Yeah.
And heat wave and hoping it does what it needs to. If it was not substituted, I'm pretty sure the heat wave would have killed.
Yep.
Um, but unfortunately,
Wait, that
he
Chansey
substituted,
cannot
and
hit
man,
you as long as you taunt it. As long as it's
exactly,
taunted, it cannot hit you.
exactly, which is where this
Oh my
issue
god.
happens is we get into a stall war, and when you get frustrated in a stall war, you forget things. Um,
Oh, okay.
so
So
he
he
can't
talks
do
he
anything.
he talks at you. I'm guessing that's what
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I basically I'm like, I can only fake out here, thinking knowing darn well I could taunt. So I'm like, oops, facade, and then again I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do it
Yeah.
again, and then don't taunt
You
here.
need to read that text. You gotta
I
read
need to
that
read.
text.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to read the text, man, because
Yep.
like at this point I'm just frustrated because I'm like, and then he
There's a
toxics,
toxic.
and
Alright. So we know how
and
it ends then.
yeah, I mean, spoiler warning, I died of toxic. And
Yep.
it's not a pretty thing. It's a good 6 minutes of toxic stall. It's not fun. I'm like very frustrated at this point. I'm like I hate Chansey, which is what we already knew all along. Um and yeah,
Yeah.
game 2
Oh
goes to the
man.
Lugias over a poorly over a Shadow Ball on a Charizard that did way too much, and the Sun killed it, which is again one of the things that you have to be careful with when you're running
Yeah.
Charizard is that solar power can kick in, and you forget sometimes that it's the following turn
Yep.
that you take the damage, and that's what sadly brought us our demise for that game. But game 3,
Alright.
I'm not freaking out,
Okay.
surprisingly.
Did you
I'm
bring
doing good
a
here.
freaking tail beast or not?
I'm thinking about it here because I'm like, all
Okay.
right, do I want the instant sun? And then at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, I kind of already get instant sun with
Yep.
this
That is true.
combo. But again, I see this. I was like, if I go instant sun, I have to predict that it's not Cliff Fable and Chansey lead because I
Yep.
see it. I'm like, maybe he brings it this time, and I'd
Yep.
rather him be prepared for him to bring it than not be
Totally
prepared to
agree.
bring it. So I go with the same mons, feeling knowing darn well I'm not going to fall for the same mistake twice,
Uh-huh.
and I'm not putting Charizard in that position to die. So I'm at this
Yep.
point, I'm like, I'm making sure I'm preserving at least Executor or Crocodile,
Alright.
or Charizard. I'm trying to survive them because I know if it gets into another Star War, which he did before, I need some attacking moves, and my Sableye does not have them. So
Yep.
that's what I'm thinking here, and you know, I'm just curious about what he's bringing. What do you think he's going to bring here? Do you think he does it?
I'm surprised he did not bring the Klefki once yet.
Yeah,
Because Klefki was so good as well against your team.
it was. It was. So here we go. Game 3. Yeah, at this point, I'm calm, but I'm like nervous. I'm like, I blew another game 1
Oh,
lead,
alright.
and then he brings out this lead, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
Which you
once
did
again,
go against.
yeah, which I did go against, which I wasn't too worried about. But again, I'm like, great. There's another water type staring down my crocodile.
Yeah.
I should have led something else. So I'm automatically thinking like, I should have went Ninetales here or Sableye
Yep.
Charizard.
So this is like
But
follow me belly
yeah,
drum or something like
that's
that.
what I'm expecting right
Yeah.
now. Yeah, I'm expecting follow me. I know I need to fake out this Clefable, and I know I need to go on and just get some
Yep.
well,
No,
not fake out the
that was a
Clefable.
great
You know,
turn. Yep.
yeah.
You
You want
prevent
to get
the
rid of it.
future follow me's, and then you could just taunt the Azumarill next turn, and it can't belly drum, and then you're in a
Yep.
good spot. Yeah, which is pretty much you doing the same thing as Clefable Chansey.
Mm-hmm.
This was the same move you had to do. Oh, but
I mean, it's
opted for the
yeah.
play rough. Oh
So yeah,
wow.
yeah. Right
Like
here, I'm
so
like,
he
I think
doesn't go for the obvious plays. Interesting.
yeah. So right here, I'm automatically like, all right, TikTok, you're coming back.
Hmm?
You're just not in the best position here. So I decided to opt for Clive here. So my Clive is going to do the most damage at this point. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
this
but
is
I
good.
still want to bring the Zard because I'm like, do I want to bring Zard here? Just because I'm like, I want to keep Executor so he can live against the Chansey if we get to that point. But I
Yeah.
opt just to play it, how I would normally play it and not getting my head. But like, as a battler, you get in your head,
Yep.
and and sometimes it's a dangerous way. So I was getting into my head big time here, and then we go in to make it as we wait for the turn to happen. So we go in and switch it out here, and we just go on and set up the sun,
Oof.
just because we need to.
Yep.
And yeah, and then we just kind of just we I'm curious to see what he does here and what he decides to run. I'm very
And
nervous.
now
So
he
he
goes for the
belly
belly
drums
drum.
here. So right here, so I'm like literally like sweating bullets because I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
This thing is belly drummed, and I don't know how I'm going to kill it because I'm not too sure if this Azumarill is Sap Sipper
Oh, that's
because
right.
it can be Sap Sipper, and I'm like, what do I do here? Because
Yeah.
I can't make that mistake. So I'm like debating with myself the entire time. Do I just Giga
Oh
Drain?
my god.
Do I Giga Drain and risk it here? And I'm like, I'm sweating here, which is a hard thing because when you realize that, oh, why? Because I'm like, why did he belly drum? He's already huge power. Yeah, he
Yeah.
wants to sweep, but I'm like, huge power is gonna do a. You're facing most
Yep.
likely a, Charizard in the
Oh,
back.
yeah. This is tough.
I'm in a tough situation, but I opt to go ahead and helping hand and psychic
Hmm?
because I'm not willing to
Yep.
take that risk on the sap sipper. And so we go with that, and I'm like crossing my fingers that it kills because I'm not sure. And everyone in chat was saying like, Luke, like I don't know about this one. I don't know what to
Oh
do.
my
But
god.
yeah, the Aqua Jet comes in, gets rid of Zales.
Psychic.
Psychic comes out, and
Oh,
thankfully,
okay, good.
I'm like
Woo.
wiping the sweat, the tears away. I'm like, oh my god, I did the right play. And yeah, so we're sitting looking pretty. I'm nervous now that Stabilize is gone because I can't reset up the sun. So
Yep.
I'm hoping he doesn't bring the Chansey because I don't want to get into this situation the entire
Yep.
time. He can still bring this, even though it's
But
not a lead.
now,
He can still bring these mons.
yeah, but now you got Executors, so you got Toxic,
Yeah,
right? So, I mean, you could just, oh, it's here. It's
it's
here.
here. The
But at a
Klefki is
bad time.
here at the wrong time. So I'm right here. I'm just like at this point, I'm like, all right, well, we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
But it's just a great example of God. Sometimes don't even try getting into your own head, man, because it's
Yeah.
not good. Because at the same time, like the deep sigh of relief, I'm like, oh, thank God it's not here.
Yep.
Um, but I'm curious. I was questioning why he brings the Klefki in middle. I'm trying to figure out what he's trying to do with the Klefki.
And
I'm
in the
like, is he
back.
gonna set the
Yeah.
is he gonna set the rain? Like I know it can rain dance if
Oh,
it
yep.
wants to. It is prankster, so I'm like, okay, maybe he's setting the rain here. That's what I'm thinking here. But I'm just kind of curious why. I guess he's like, oh, son, I got to bring the Klefki.
Yep.
So that's what I'm thinking here, and I'm just again waiting to see if my theory is right. But he
All
opts
right.
to toxic the
Toxic.
Charizard here, which is I guess he's just trying to make it meet its demise faster
Yep.
than it's already going to do with the Life Orb Solar Power.
No light screen
But
or anything. All right.
we get a crit on the Giga Drain here, and I think this definitely matters here on the next wave because Heat Wave is going to come out and it's going to
Oh,
kill
wow.
both of them.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I
big
don't.
damage.
I'm pretty sure the Giga Drain, the crit on the Giga Drain, definitely helped Clefable move closer to the red than
Yep.
it needed to. So it definitely did matter, which again, crits are a part of Pokemon, and it's sometimes the worst thing in the world or the best thing in the world.
Yep.
And right here, I'm just leaping for joy because I'm like, thank the Lord. But now I'm like, what is he bringing here? Did he bring the Dragapult? Did he bring the Fable? And he opts for the
A
Chansey
Fable.
here.
Oh yeah, Chansey.
And yeah,
Um,
I meant Chansey, but it's
just Heat
here, and I'm
Wave
like, all right,
Toxic or
yeah,
what you
that's what I'm
do.
thinking here. Um, which is what
Or
we're
Psychic, yeah.
going with here. I just want to get this over with because I'm like I think we're in the bag here. Um,
That
we just
does
have to go on a
nothing.
good.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, special
it's
defense
so
drop though.
bulky.
That's really nice.
Yep. But again,
All right.
that Chansey is so especially bulky, man. Like
No
it's
substitute.
ridiculous.
Oh, okay. GG. It's
Yeah,
over.
and that's where I was like, oh great, we're gonna get into this substitute war. So I'm already like Charizard's gone. In my mind, but the substitute does not work, unfortunately, for him. But fortunately for me, we pick up the big W
Yep. All
with the
right.
Zard, and we just
Good
prove once
job. What a
again,
great third game though.
yeah, that Charizard is great in the sun. And props to the Lugias,
Oh,
man, because I cannot get it done. I cannot applaud them enough for making me think
yeah.
on my feet because this man led three different leads, brought
Yep.
different mons every game, and man, oh man, was it a headache to deal with. But we're proud with the
All
result.
right.
We're
Well,
we're
congratulations.
very proud.
Week
Thank
one
you.
in the bag.
Yeah, week one in the
Oh
bag,
man.
and I'm just ecstatic that we got the W. And props to the Lugias once again, man. It kept me on my toes, and they're going to be a real hassle uh and later on the week once they
Yep.
kind of figure out what their team needs to
Oh
do
yes.
and
Once they watch this
what
back, they're gonna realize.
yeah, watch this video. We just gave you the
Yeah.
keys to playoffs, man. They're right here. Take them from my hand.
Uh, Thankfully, I
And
battle
I
him
hope
this week, so he won't have any time to prep.
yeah, that's what yeah.
uh,
He was yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But lesson learned, man, is here is again, I guess the big takeaway here is don't get in your head too much, man.
yeah,
Like it messes with you and it makes you
it does
make
for sure.
silly decisions. And sometimes you just gotta go with your gut and not go with what you expect, and it will work out for you in the end. But luckily, we did not get into a toxic stall war in the game
Nope.
three,
No, that
and
was
we
good,
got
man.
a nice, pretty
Oh.
victory. And Charizard looked good, and he didn't die, so we were all happy. Charizard is going to be the kill leader this season. All right, I'm
All
aiming
right.
for it. All right,
So you're
that's what
getting
I'm
for that
trying to
MVP,
do.
huh? Getting that
He's
MVP.
getting it. He's getting proof that rocks don't matter.
There we go. All right. Well, congratulations again.
Thank you.
And that's the end of today's video. And also, we'll see you guys on week 2 and
Yes.
see what happens in week 2. So, bye bye, guys.
Bye, guys.